fam. Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, put your hands up. Help you guys.
Yeah. That's
Way
what's
back
up.
in the
That's what's
day,
up. What
man.
up?
Don't just sit there like a buffalo log.
What can I tell you, man? Hey.
I hope everybody's
Uh-huh.
doing well. And as folks come on in, we're going to let everybody in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. And Big B, I'm going to bring the music on down so we can get started. All right. There we go. And we're going to come off sharing here, Big B, so you can see. Can you see now?
Yeah, I can see now. The brother was blind for a second, but I'm all right now.
I want to welcome everyone to the Family Tree, another episode of the Holistic Health for the middle of the week. How about that? Hump Day.
Yeah, buddy. Yes, buddy. Yes, buddy.
Hump Day, and this is the time that we can get, we say the update on what's going on in the world. This is from your holistic perspective. A lot going on, y'all. And this is a place where we try to make it all happen. What we remember this by, we call it the family tree because it reminds us of the ancient laurel trees of when we used to gather around the tree and we talked about situations and things that were networking, anything you had problems, situations, anything going on, we came to the tree. Prayer, meditation, weddings, you name it. We did it around the tree. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. That this not be your last time. This is the place where we call your social security. You got to say it slow now. Social security. That means it's not a check. It is your family. So we invite you to the conversation this evening. If you got something on your heart and mind, you can join the conversation. Go down to your menu bar and you can hit the reaction bar. Hit the reaction, pop up, and it'll actually show you, said, hey, put your hand up like Big B up there, and we'll try to get your question or comment or anything you have on your heart and mind, we'll get you in. If you're someone that may have said, hey, you're too cute today, you don't want to show nobody your face. That's all right, Big B.
Can't stand it, man.
I can't stand it. We say, hey, if you want to do that, you can put your information right in the chat box. And Big B or Prophetess, I don't know if she's in today.
Prophetess is in the house, man. Fingers is in the house, buddy. Yes, sir.
Let's get Prophetess a hand over there.
Yeah.
Fingers.
That's what's up.
And she will get the question over to us, and then she'll put it in the chat box. Also, before you ask your question, sometimes the questions are already in the chat box. If we're talking about things, check with the chat box. Some of those questions have already been asked, and you can go right there. And Prophetess over there, she's so fast. I see smoke over there sometimes. I don't even know what she's doing over there, Big B.
Smoking steam all at the same time.
Smoking at the same time. So if you're someone that's calling by phone and you may have missed the prompt where it tells you how to actually raise your hand, don't worry. Just let us know you're calling by phone, and we'll probably get you in, okay? We're trying to do our best, Big D.
Yeah,
Big D, we can't get everybody, but we sure do try. And with that, if you have any questions or things on your heart, we say sometimes if you can't get it right away, we'll try to get it. Or you can email, and that's where I will bring in our host with the most, Big B, Bill 1L Morgan. Give him a hand, y'all.
Yeah. That's fun, man. That's fun, buddy.
Yes, tell them how they can be a part of the family tree, and they will get a transcript if they want to of the program.
Dude, as always, make sure you get a copy of tonight's chat, guys, or we can even request chats from behind. Make sure you send an email out to me. That email is mechavideo@gmail.com. Again, that email address is mechavideo@gmail.com. Well, since I'm here, let me just say this. To make sure that we keep things rolling here, guys, and to support the family tree, guys, guess what? Use my Cash App, and that Cash App is $ Bill Morgan, $BILMORGAN. Use it through the bank. That ID number is mechavideo@comcast.net. Of course, we do have a PO box. That PO box number is PO Box 191, Mullica Hill, New Jersey, 08062. Guys, send your requests to mechavideo@gmail.com. All right. Yes, sir, buddy.
There you go, Big B. Big B. Lots going on, man. Did you see about the rains down in Florida right now?
Oh man, but it's kicking humps down there, man.
The slow moving system is just sort of hitting them, and they're getting flooded like crazy. So tell us what's going on. What else is going on? Go for our favorite website.
Hey, you know the cicadas are coming back to kick us too, right? You know that they are kicking us for big time for days, man.
The cicadas are kicking. Yep.
I mean, they're really getting us big time, man. Well, coming from our very website, which of course updated again yesterday. Not actually that. Yesterday was on June the 1st. The last time. But anyway, of course, our primary things are where our viruses and our clinical loads are still going sideways. The trends of 1.8%. Of course, the respiratory illness is at 1.9% trending sideways. And of course, our flu service, our flu network is 0.2% per 100,000. Now, there was one that you came up with last week, Dr. Paul, that I missed. I'm trying to figure out the very, very last one. Remember?
Yeah, we were looking at the bird flu.
Yes.
The bird flu numbers. And if we can pull that up, I can pull that up real quick. The CDC does a bird flu count also.
Right.
If you punch in CDC bird flu, it'll give you the latest, which is the H5N1 bird flu current situation and summary. And right now we are trending right now as of today. Looks like the wild birds detected 9,495. Poultry was 96,813. Yep. And dairy is at 93 right now. These are infected. These are affected. And that pretty much is it right there. States with outbreaks of the states with outbreaks in cows is right now at 12. So that number is going up. So it seems like every week something is
something crazy is going on, man.
Definitely. So thank you, Big B. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Always, as always.
All right. We're going to get started. And we always start off, I always say, with the testimony, because testimonies go a long way. And with testimonies, we always start off the program with hearing from you, the things that you may have gotten from this program, or you may have been doing some things that have been, you notice that, guess what? I'm doing this and I got a little bit of results. Or you got some good news. We say testimony goes a long way, because somebody either is going in a storm, Big B,
or coming out of a storm.
Or coming out of a storm. So we like to appreciate you and all that you do, because it helps somebody else through their storm. So no matter what we do, we always open that time up first time when we start off our program. So at this time, if you have a testimony, that you want to share with the family, the floor is open. Anybody have a testimony? Anyone have a testimony? All right. Anyone?
They're gonna get creative. You know how it is.
They're gonna get creative.
They come in and they'll do a sleuth, a stealth when they come in. You know how that goes.
All right. Okay.
That's all right. We'll handle that too. We can deal with that.
We say that, sometimes if something comes up on your heart and mind, because sometimes it's the little things. You might say, well, always my blood pressure was a little low this week, normally it was high, or sometimes people will see small changes, and those small changes mean a lot. I would encourage you to share, because that really is how you truly get blessed, is when you share. Because when you share that information, it comes back to you, sometimes 5, 10, 20 fold, as a blessing, because you help somebody. Okay? All right. Does anybody have a testimony?
Okay. Yeah, my husband's completely ill.
Nina, your phone. I don't know what's going on with you, Nina. I don't know if your phone is acting up. Is your speaker too loud? You got to turn your speaker down or something. You got to turn that speaker down.
Yeah, because we can hear you coming back through the headphones. So turn your speaker down, Nina.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
Can you hear it? Yeah, you can't. Make sure you don't have any other devices on, like your phone or a laptop or something else other than the one you're watching. Okay.
Yeah, it's feeding back.
We're getting the bad feedback here.
We want to make sure we hear all of what you have to say. We don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, it's messing up real bad. It's really bad. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, all right, Mina, let me do this. Turn your speaker. Don't listen. Just turn your speaker all the way down. All right, down. And then just say what you have to say. Just turn the speaker part all the way down.
Is your speaker all the way down? You got the little soft speakers on the side? Hey, Nina, why don't you just put it right in the chat box? Can you type it out in the chat box and we'll read it for you? Yeah, give it a try, okay? It's really bad. Because it's really bad.
Okay, okay.
We'll try to get to her. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll hey, we'll get back to you. Don't go nowhere. All right, we'll get back to you.
Dr. Paul.
Yeah.
Hold on, Farouk. Hold on, Farouk. All right. Anybody else?
Manny, did you get it? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go to the next person. We'll try to come back to you, Nina. All right. All right. Who do we have? Who else is someone that has maybe a testimony? I hear open mic somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that Farouk?
Yes.
Brother Farouk, what's going on?
You feeling it, man? I like that song you was singing out there, man. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
I remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is it? I mean, what you was in the studio with your son or what?
Which one are you talking about?
He's talking about the song that just dropped, Dr. P.
Oh, he's talking about Night and Day. Night and Day. Yeah. Night and Day is a song that I did a remake of the classic back in the day, Night and Day, and it was officially released. And we did the video. We did it in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So it was nice, man. It finally hit all platforms. So family, hopefully y'all can support it. I'll put it out here and we'll give you the link where you can actually see the link, the video and everything. And it was a great product.
Wait a minute. It's on Apple Music too?
Yeah, it's on Apple. It's on iTunes, Spotify, all of them. Yeah. Just punch in Dr. Paul, Night and Day. That's all you got to do.
Wow.
Put in Night and Day.
So you an artist?
Yeah, I've been an artist, man. I've been an artist. I've been doing music for a long time. I started off, matter of fact, before I became a naturopath, I was signed to a major label. I was signed to Columbia Records back in the day when I was about 19 years old. So from that, I was at the same time working at SmithKline pharmaceutical company. So down the street. So we just kind of, it's always been either medicine or music. That's what it's been. Yeah.
Wow. And that's why I tell people, like, it's a testimony for you to, get online and you sound a lot better, man. Like, I love your spirit.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah,
man. So how you been doing? All right.
How
you been doing?
24-hour care. I've been doing well. Still vegan, still hanging in there, still, keeping my focus on God. And I joined Bethel Deliverance International Church, Pastor Eric Lambert.
All right, let's give him a hand right there, y'all. He joined church, man.
All right, that's good. Right, that's a great thing. That's exactly right.
Congratulations. Everybody come off mute for him.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Absolutely, man. That's a blessing,
Farouk.
brother.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, congratulations on your spiritual walk there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm also developing, and also, I'm still in a move of God to allow him to use me in such a way where it's going to empower others to grow. And I'm still selling coffee, and I know it's been trying, we have our ups and downs with that. So I'm just letting everyone know that, hey, I'm still open. I don't mind, people call me, but then I guess, it's just slow. Huh?
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't know, if you join us for the very first time, Farouk has the Ganoderma, the coffee that we talk about and we recommend. If you don't trying to cut off coffee, you want a better version of coffee or what they say hot beverage in the morning, and you want something that's not acidic, that would be the Ganoderma, which is the mushroom coffee. So Farouk, give them your number where they can contact you if they want to maybe check out the website or give you a call.
Sure. It's 267-461-6091.
All right. Okay. All right. Sounds good, buddy. All right. Thank you. Thanks for the check-in, buddy.
All right, man.
No problem.
Appreciate you, man. All right. All right. Anyone else has a testimony? That's where we are right now. Testimony time, guys.
Testimony. Gotta tell it. Go tell it on the mountain. All right. if we don't have anything, we want to move forward, but the floor is always open. All right.
I know that's right. I know
Something
that's
come
right.
up and you say, "Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, I forgot about that."
Man,
That's okay. It happens. It happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got to count your blessings. You got to count your blessings.
And that's always the way it is.
All right,
Dr. P, we'll pull some things from the chat before we go up to Karam in the corner. He's the first one up top with his hand up. We have a question here that it just says iPhone says, what is a good herb to build CK muscle levels? Thank you.
Yeah, well, you're talking about muscles. You got to go back to my favorite is going to the brewer's yeast because that's the building blocks of the cell. You know, when you're building the muscle, you got to get with the amino acids, you know, and that balance is the Lewis lab, you know, and that's the Lewis lab. Say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. Lewis lab is one of the best when it comes to amino acids. This is the additive that you would add to things like green drinks. If you add it to green drinks, that's one that more weightlifters and people who are doing a lot of muscle toning, muscle building, they would go with the brewer's yeast. Right. I was trying to stay away from a lot of those powdered proteins because a lot of those powdered proteins, believe it or not, are coming from mealworms. You ever know what mealworms are? Y'all know what mealworms are?
Well, they sound icky to me.
Mealworms.
That's the kind of thing you say, ew.
Yeah, mealworms.
Was it corn?
What'd you say, Calvin?
Was it corn? Some kind of corn?
Is it? No, these are worms.
Actual worms.
These are actual worms. These are actually worms. And matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up a mealworm. And matter of fact, I know them well because my you know, people will eat them as calcium, you know, as forms of calcium and protein. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my uncle had a mealworm farm because he was a fisherman. So he got him, Big B. This is how he got the mealworms. Let me show y'all a picture of. Y'all want to see a picture of mealworms?
I don't know. Do I have to run out the room if it's that bad?
No.
Because I will. I'm gonna tell you, huh?
A quick shot.
You want to see it? Close one eye.
Look, I got the heart. Let me see the mealworm. Bring it on.
Just put one eye. Put one eye open. Cover one eye and keep one eye open.
Okay. Right? To my left eye, my right eye.
Can you see it?
Oh.
Ew. Oh, man.
They don't bite or anything. They just, you know what? These mealworms they're protein.
You better stop. You mean that's dinner?
That's Hallelujah. Protein for a lot of those protein shakes and stuff like those are what people use. That's what they use. Somebody's camera, somebody's phone is on.
Yeah.
Somebody's phone is on. Mina, to make sure you're on mute, Mina. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's still on. I'm getting feedback. All right. But yes, that is actually mealworms right there. And my uncle used to have a mealworm farm. You know what they used to do when they gave these to you? You would order them through mail. And they would send them through the mail. All you would need is like a handful of them.
Oh.
And then all you would do is put them in a bucket of like yeast or something, right? And then what they were it's like a yeast, like a sawdust type yeast. And then you would put bananas over there and they would start to roll. He had so many he said, I only had about 5 or 6 of them they send you. And they live. They get them in the mail. And then when he started to have them grow, he had hundreds of buckets of them. Wow. It was amazing. He go in his garage and they all over the place.
That's why I say ew.
And every time I go over there, I would take them bananas, like the banana peels. That's what they would eat. They would eat the banana peels. Oh. But they're used for fishing. But that is the protein that most people are eating. If you look up the process for protein, that's what people are eating when they get the ones like the weightlifter stuff and you see in the health food store. Yeah, it's mealworms.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you do what I tell you to do, go get the yeast from, the forms of they grow it on beets. That would be the Lewis lab. That's the one I talk about all the time.
Okay.
Lewis lab. There it is right there. Brewer's yeast. Boom. See right there?
All right, yeah, got you.
Yep, that's the one right there. They actually grow this. This is actually grown on beets. It's one of the highest forms of nutrient that you can get. And that's what I would say for building bones. Look at this. It's dried inactive yeast, allergen free. It's actually non-GMO, it's gluten, kosher, vegan, it's all the above. Okay. All right.
All right, man. You almost made me.
And Dr. Paul, that just real quick, I'm the one that asked the question. This is for muscle building because you just said bones as well.
Yep. Yep.
The
that is
CK
correct.
levels are low.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's for bones. It's for everything. Because when you're talking about dealing with amino acids, you got to start for bones. Of course, you got to deal with marrow. But at the same time, this is why this is for bones.
Okay, Janice, can you mute yourself? Thank you.
Mute yourself.
All right, got it.
Yeah, everybody should be on mute unless you're actually part of the conversation, okay? All right, make sure you're muted. Everybody make sure you're muted right now. Everybody on mute, right? Okay, good. All right. Okay.
All right. All right. Let me see. Let me go back to Mina real quick. Mina, are you able to get your mic up without it feeding back? If so, I'd like for you to still get our testimony in. You think so? No. Okay. All right. Very good. No. Okay. All right. Then here we go. All right. The next question is this is from Rachel. Is hydrogenated foods the same as trans fats when you read the nutrition labels on food products?
Trans fats are totally different than hydrogenated. Hydrogenization is a process of where it's a form of refining.
Okay.
Which means that they're that's the hydrogenator that's made from, Procter & Gamble back in the day.
Right.
It actually had a machine that literally made soap. It was used.
Yes.
Y'all remember that story, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're doing,
others may not have heard it, Dr. Why don't you share?
Yeah. Okay. So the hydrogenator back during the war was made for refining. So it was to make soap. So when you pull moisture, it makes things hard like a rock. So soap was how they made it. So they also found out that it was very good for processes of preserving. So they said, well, wait a minute, we can put this in anything that spoils. We pull the moisture off of it, stays on the shelf longer. Got it? So you have things like this thing called cottonseed oil. Got it? So they took the cottonseed oil and then started using the cottonseed oil to actually crystallize it to make it hard. And then they came up with this thing called Crisco. You remember that?
Okay,
Crisco.
I remember that. Yes.
Crisco. Yep, that's where Crisco comes from. So Crisco is crystallized. That's what Crisco stands for, crystallized cottonseed oil. And then they came out and promoted it as the new oil that you should bake. And they came up with 100-page book for all the women and that were cooking and for those that baking, how to make a better cake, pies and cookies and all the things and cooking your chicken with it. And that's when everybody started having high blood pressure, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, all that stuff. That's because it pulls moisture out of your arteries and veins. So they started using it also for things like, they used it for things like you were getting into like, somebody mute yourself.
Apostle, there we go.
Mute yourself. They started using it for things like creamers. So the dairy creamers, the stuff that goes in your coffee, is hydrogenated. Got it? That's the difference. That actually now, when you take that, put that in your coffee, it pulls the moisture off of it, pulls the moisture out of you. Your pressure goes up. Got it? Dehydrates you from the inside out. That's what causes your pressure to now go up. And then people wonder, why is my pressure so high? It's probably the creamers. But they also do things like peanut butter. Peanut butter is the second highest one. So peanut butter is hydrogenated, and there's some that is non-hydrogenated. You got to make sure if you get peanut butter, get the one that's non-hydrogenated. And then lastly, if I were to say the most prevalent ones you got to be careful of is coconut oil. Coconut oil sometimes will have unrefined, it'll be organic, but it's hydrogenated. That's the bad one. I see so many people putting that on their skin, wondering why they're starting to break out after they're putting coconut oil on them. That's because it's hydrogenated. Got it? So you want the non-hydrogenization, okay? Make sure you do that. All right, trans fats are the ones that are refined oils. Those are the ones that we say what? The things like the canola oil, the corn oil, the vegetable oil, the peanut oil. Those are trans fats. They're going to raise that triglyceride level in your body. It's going to gunk up the liver. And guess what? It's going to put you on a statin because the HDL and LDL, high density, low density, are going to be out of balance. It's like a car that has the oil change, has never had an oil change, and it starts to seize up the engine. You got it? So you got to watch that. So that's why we say stay away from those. So there's a big difference between trans fats and dealing with something that is hydrogenated. Popcorn, big one, hydrogenated. Yep, popcorn. Also, potato chips, and a lot of them, you'll see it. It'll say hydrogenated oils used. There are some in the health food store that'll say non-hydrogenated chips.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just got to make sure you read. Okay. All right.
All right, Dr. P. Karen, we'll go to you and then go back over and get some more on the chat side. Karen?
Bill.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, Karen. Was that the Apostle? Apostle, is that you?
Yeah, those guys were originally candle makers.
Yeah, you talking about Procter and Gamble?
Procter and Gamble, yes. P&G, yes.
Yeah, they were originally candle makers, and they wasn't making no money. and they had all the materials, and they had to figure out a way to use the materials that they had, and that's when they came up with this process you're talking about.
Yeah.
Boy, they always kind of figure out a way to get at us.
They
Apostle, you know what I mean?
Dehydrate you from the inside out.
Inside
out. You.
Take you apart a little bit at a time, Dr.
Just like they were trying to make soap, that soap is inside of you now.
Oh, man.
Hard like a rock. Yep.
Matter of fact, the first soap they started with was Ivory soap.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody know how hard Ivory soap was.
Yeah, and using it with the children.
Yes.
It went after the kids first.
And it's interesting how Ivory soap was always one of those soaps that would dry you out real bad.
Yep.
Remember?
But, hey, we became Ash King and Queen, Dr. Paul. Boy, you're so ashy. Give me some grease.
That's right. There you go.
Oh, boy.
All right, what we got here?
Got Karen up in the corner. Go ahead, Karen.
Thanks, Apostle.
Yeah, hey, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Yes, sir.
All right, Karen, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening? Yeah, you're right, man. We're getting drenched down here in Florida, man. It's been raining nonstop since yesterday morning. My pool is overflowing. Wow. I have a roof leak here, which I'm going to kick that roof. Well, never mind.
Let us pray.
That's another story. That's another story, right?
Yeah, I know, man. But hopefully, it's not supposed to stop until maybe Friday, Saturday, something like that. So we'll see. Yeah, it's nonstop. But anyway.
Wow.
So two things. One, is there a baseline for the blood pressure monitor using that? Is there a baseline that could be above 120/80?
Mm-hmm. You mean as far as what would be considered normal? You mean? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Well, they wanted it at the 120/80, or some even say 130/90, something around there. But really, the number is 140/90. That's it. Once you're
140/90,
that means that's your break point. We call it the break point. And the break point means don't go over 140 on the top, systolic, diastolic, don't go over 90. That's really what we're talking about. About 20 years ago, when I was doing the research, I was part of a research team that went all over the country to do blood pressure monitors. At that time, it was normal 140/90. I said normal, not high, normal. So with the data we turned in, it's almost like they saw that, people were around 130, 140, around that number. They said, hey, if we drop it to 120, we got them all. That's exactly what happened overnight.
Oh, that's right.
So that's when people in the year 2003 more people got on medication in 2003 on blood pressure medicine than any other time ever. Right there, 2003. Wow. So after that, then, of course, insurance knocks on the door. Hey, they got high blood pressure. I can charge them more insurance. Yeah, and that's where that happened.
Make more money.
So I've I've talked to many allopathic doctors, and a lot of them are still back and forth also because they change it back and forth. So just understand that's the break number, 140 over 90. Just as long as you don't go over that top number, 90 on the bottom.
Okay, well, it's interesting you say that because I was writing down all the tests I took the end of May, and the lowest was 128. The highest was 146.
Mm-hmm.
And the lowest, the lowest on the bottom was 76, and the highest was 90.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like 146 over 85, 142 over 80. You know, I've had 128 over 76. It's just all over the place. Yeah. I don't know if it's because people like these roofers stressing me out or what, but
yeah, that'll do it, man. You know, that weather, you know.
Come back to Philadelphia. You got the right backdrop with the miracles and marvelettes.
Well, I know that's right.
He missing it, ain't he?
Right down Broad Street.
Well, I would tell you this, that, you know, with those numbers, just make sure you keep things in perspective. Number one, get that good monitor I told everybody to get, the Oxyline. If you get an Oxyline meter.
That's the one right there.
That's it.
That's the one that keeps you up to date on the best of the most accurate plus or minus one when it comes to accuracy. The other thing is when you're taking it, just make sure that you're taking it in the right time. Remember, don't take it after you've been moving around, right? Always take it, you know, make sure you're resting in what's called a resting state. The resting state means that you're sitting for about 5 or 10 minutes. You're sitting and not moving around. Got it? And that when you're taking it, make sure, try not to take it after you were eating either. That's another one. I don't speak a lot about that one, but that's one also. If you just ate, don't try to take it after you ate because your body's always adjusting to try to get that number correct, you know, back to balance. So it can be a problem, okay? Resting state for pulse. Let me just give you real quick. Resting state for pulse between 50, somewhere like 50 to 69, resting, 70 on up would be active, okay? So if you're sitting and resting and your pulse is at like 100 or something like that, we're seeing a little bit of pressure on that heart. And usually when we do an arm 3A, we can see that there's a little bit of pressure on that. Usually that's an indicator that I see either endothelial disruption, plaque buildup, or sometimes a misalignment in the back. So either one of those things I can usually see. It's usually when that pulse is a little too high.
All right, repeat the numbers again. For resting is 50 to what?
50 to about 69. Resting.
And active 70.
70 on higher. Yep, 70 on up. Some 70 to 100 plus. You know, some people are really high. Now, some athletes are very low. Like I have some athletes that come in and they're very, very low. They'll be less than 50. I had a guy from, matter of fact, he was from the Ukraine. He was a soccer player from Ukraine. He came in and he says, I run all the time. He said, I run all the time, nonstop. You know, if you know soccer, that's just constantly running. He was like 40 something. I'm like, yo, his heart was like this. I was like, wow, man. He said, yeah. He said that's something that he's always had an understanding of. But yep. So unless they're really active, those are the things they consider. Okay.
Okay. Second matter. The green test. The green test. I had ordered that. I did the extensive research the next day after you mentioned it 2 weeks ago, and I went and ordered one on the greentest.ca, which I guess is in Canada. And they never responded. I sent them 2 emails. Hey, did you get my order? Can you reply? I got nothing. So I went to Los Angeles for a few days and got back yesterday morning. And I canceled it with my credit card yesterday. And I just went and ordered the one you have, the 2F in black off Amazon. Because I had ordered the 6 directly off the site. and only to find out, I even tried calling, and only now on my phone, that number I tried calling comes up to China.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. Yeah, that might have been an off-site. You got to be careful. So, you got to watch those off-sites. So the one, that's why I've ordered right directly from Amazon. Those are, probably more, definitely. If you're looking at it, that's what he's talking about, the green test. This is the one here. Now, we talked about on Sunday's Green Hour how I was telling y'all that these numbers, what I've been discovering, has been alarming, at least.
Yeah.
About this rates of nitrates. Doubt. It's very, very alarming. I took something, for example, which was a organic celery. And when I took the organic celery, when I did the probe into the celery at the root of the area, it scored out of 2,000, which was the highest for milligrams per nitrate for celery.
That was crazy.
This thing was 9,999. It went off the chart.
Wow.
So what does that mean? Well, I took it again from the stalk, which is the higher part of the actual celery. And guess what? It was normal. So what does that mean? What does that mean, Big B? What does that mean? That means that from the base from where these foods are growing, which is in the soil, it shows that the soil is the toxicity point. And as it starts to grow, it grows higher. And that's where it is literally filtering out this poison. So that means Mother Nature is fighting.
God is doing this thing.
God is doing this thing. This is why they got to keep raising this pesticide. So when I test the top part of the stalk of the celery, clear. But when it was at the bottom, it was the worst of all. It was the highest off the chart. So that's my concern. When you're cutting the celery, cut that bottom off of there. And that's also when I did for the same thing, Big B, with the garlic.
Yeah.
When I did the garlic, the same thing happened. Yep. Yes. The upper part of the garlic, of course, where it grows, with the bottom part was the part that was the most toxic. As it grew to the top, clear. So it just shows that we're getting a lot of these nitrate sprays being overpopulating with industrialization, and it's overwhelming the fruits and the vegetables. So just be careful. I would say everybody needs to get one of these.
But Dr. Paul, that also says something to me that our soil is dead.
Yep. That is correct. I'm getting feedback. Who is that?
Auntie.
Somebody.
There you go. Thank you, Auntie.
I got him. Yeah. So what does it mean? Yes, it means that the soils, it's the soil. It is the soil being
contaminated.
Yes, the soil is being saturated with these industrial nitrates. I didn't see it. It occurs. Remember, nitrates occur naturally in fruits and vegetables. That's natural. But when you have an overflow of saturation from industrialization, it overpowers. Now it becomes too much of a problem, because if you get this inside of you, this is what causes endocrine disruption. This is the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the things that are happening. And I want to be careful, because, Big B, we want everybody to have fruits and vegetables. We encourage you to eat them.
Well, you see, that's what man is doing now. Well, they're not crazy. They know that man, initially, we were created fruitarians, guys, fruits, nuts, and grains.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And all the other stuff came along after things went caca on the earth. And then we got, vegetables and all those kinds of things.
Vegetation.
Yes, sir, buddy.
That's where it comes from.
Yes, sir.
Vegetables comes from vegetation on the table. How about that? So just be careful. I would say grab one of these, even if it's the small one. This is the lightest model that you can probably get. It's the black version.
Right.
And with that, take it with you. Somebody said, can you take it to the market?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can if you want to. You can. You can.
Just don't let them catch you stabbing their fruits.
What's it called?
Just don't tell them I sent you.
Who was that?
All right, I see if I walk by and I see all these holes in the fruits and stuff, I'm gonna know who's been there.
That must be a student of Dr. Paul's. What is wrong with them people?
Well, yeah. Now this probe right here is not bad, because it's a 2-prong right here. It looks like a needle. The other ones, there's some other ones that are little. It looks almost like a jack from like a cell phone, or like a headphone jack. It's a little bit bigger. I suggest you just get a small one like this.
Yeah.
If you put a hole in, you can't even see it. Yeah, you got it. All right, family.
And what's your model number, Dr. Paul?
What was that?
What is your model number? Because they have different models.
Yeah, I have the 2F black. Yes.
Yeah, 2F black. Right.
And what is that called again?
Green test.
Green test.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta get one, family. You gotta get it. You got to get this.
And it's about what, $80-some, right?
Yeah, this one's 82 right here.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, so mine will be here on Monday, and I'll let you know next week.
Okay.
Lastly, just real quick, you told us about the Yucca app last year before. I finally downloaded that and scanned and everything in Costco and whatnot. Man, it's amazing.
I know. You know what? You got to utilize this technology, man. You got to.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So there were a couple things that I scanned the barcode and it came up excellent or good, but I turned around the back and I see canola oil or maltodextrin in there. I said, well, it said just good and excellent, but it has those two components in there. So
yeah,
that's all I have.
Is that YUK? It's YUKA, Karen. So, folks, because I know we'll make sure people are spelling it right. Not YUCC.
No, let me show it to you.
Yeah,
I just pulled it up.
YUKA.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I want to make sure, folks, if they decide to get in the right
pull
one.
It up for you. Can you see that?
Yep. Okay, that's it. You see it, guys?
That's an app that goes on your phone, and you can see what it does. It has they, for example, took the Cheerios. It gives the additives, the sugar, the calories, the sodium, fiber, protein. How does it do? Does it actually scan for a bioengineering at all? Do you know?
I didn't notice that, but it does have, just like what you're scanning down, what's good and what's bad in there, but not bioengineered ingredients. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, because I know the Belvitas are bioengineered, and I know the Cheerios are bioengineered also.
Well, the Honey Nut Cheerios are. The regular Cheerios has no bioengineered ingredients.
Yeah, because they were talking about, why, right? Because of the children. That was the baby's first finger food. So they said they had to pull back. It was at one time, but then they pulled back. They got caught on that one. So they pulled back.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Good stuff, Karam. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. This is good stuff. Hope y'all writing this stuff down.
Yes, indeed.
Because definitely this is some life-saving information here. When you start to deal with all of these different things that are happening, you got to have some level of measurement, unless you start to get your own farm in the back. But now with the own farm, I'm going to have to talk to some of my farmers, and talk to them about these testers, because the soil.
Yeah, man, that would help. That would help a lot.
I'm going to have to start talking to the farmers. I did make a connection with some of the black farmers, so I'll be keeping y'all posted on that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's go to Eva right quick. You'll come back up to Vanessa. What can someone do, Dr. Paul, to stop pain from sciatic nerve? She's asking for a friend.
Yeah, well, that would be definitely sciatic nerve. You got to do structural first. Remember, I always say structural first. Make sure there's no pressure on that nerve. That's what it is. Has to be relieved. There's nothing going to help that but a actual assessment with a chiropractor. You got to be assessed first to make sure you eliminate first structural problems. Say that, y'all. Eliminate the structural problems.
Yes.
You got to eliminate the structural problems first. Then you can move forward. If you still have a problem and that it's not a structural issue, then it's the food choices. Got it? Meaning that the food choices are making the body too acidic. And the body's flowing in a state of acid. Now it's going to go after you. And that's when it's going to pull from the bones, the joints, the ligaments, connective tissue. Usually you feel that down the leg. That's usually going to be lower lumbar. That's usually lower lumbar issues. Yeah. Yeah.
All
right, Vanessa, you're up next.
Hey guys, how are you?
Terrific.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Actually, I'm doing pretty well. I do my green drink twice a day, but I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Number one, because you guys go so quickly, I can't write stuff down fast enough. Bill, can you tell me how I can get a copy? Well, I really want to hear the whole meeting tomorrow on Facebook. How do I do that?
Just like I said before, just make sure you send an email to me at mechavideo@gmail.com, because what I usually try and do in each email, guys, not only do I put the chat information in there, but I also put up, by the time I get everything edited out and whatever, I put up the actual Facebook video and the YouTube once I get them both loaded, so you can go back and watch both YouTube or Facebook of this entire program along with the copy of the chat, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, tomorrow would be too soon to do it, or do you have to wait a while?
Girl, you better stop. I only got about 3 feet. Don't have me running around here. Listen, I'll
do it right now. Send the email now.
Yeah, send it right now. Send it right now.
You know what? I'll have it up more than likely in the early afternoon, because it depends on how long it takes for it to upload. Okay.
Perfect. Last question. Oh no, 2 questions. Dr. Paul, for example, like a lot of recipes I read, like for example, I have my cookbook by Tabitha. And a lot of recipes call for maple syrup or brown sugar. I don't want to use that. So what would I use in place for a little sweetener?
Well, remember, you have alternative. You just want unrefined sugars. So the ones that I recommend going into would be coconut palm sugar. You got date sugar.
Okay.
You got beet sugar. And you have monk fruit.
Gotcha. Perfect.
And then make sure it's unrefined, no xylitol, no erythritol.
Perfect. Okay, got you. Last question, Dr. Paul, what did you have tonight for dinner? What was your dinner today, or your lunch?
Actually, I'm actually fish. We have fish. I'm a pescatarian, so we have fish, and then I have vegetables on the side with some rice. That's my meal. Usually, I'm doing some form of a stir fry. And
what is your rice? What is your rice? Wild rice?
Yeah, wild or brown rice. Tonight was brown rice.
Okay.
Yep. So what you would do is always start with the base. So you can start with the base of anything. You can do brown rice, wild rice. You can do black rice. You can even do squirrely squash. You can also do mixed or sometimes multi-grain quinoa or couscous. That's your base.
Okay.
And then from the base, you would do stir fries. You can do a wok stir fry, or sometimes I'll put in like an air fryer. I'll have like something like asparagus. Sometimes it'll be the onions, it'll be garlic, whatever. Along with that, right over the rice, add the fish, boom, you got 1,000 meal different combinations like that.
So okay, now you told me a certain kind of salmon to get, but I don't like that salmon you recommended. What kind
of fish? Which one? A salmon? What'd you say?
It was salmon, but it was a certain kind of salmon. You said.
No, there's only one salmon. There was alternative to salmon is the steelhead trout.
I don't like that. I don't like that steelhead.
Well, you can get something else.
That's real easy.
Okay, that's right. But back up.
Yeah, it ain't gonna fit everybody. So you got anything that's fins and scales. Got it?
That's
fins and scales.
This is sockeye salmon.
What about flounder? Is flounder skin and scales? What about flounder?
Well, flounder is fins with no scales.
With no scales.
No, you don't want him because he's floundering around on the bottom. He's waiting for poop to fall down. Don't mess with him. No flounder, no halibut, no swai. Got it? No bassa.
No
all of that stuff is that sturgeon, all that stuff on the bottom.
Tilapia.
Right. Tilapia is fins and scales, but it's been altered. That's an industrial fish. Yeah, many people don't know, but the tilapia actually is an Egyptian fish that came from Egypt. They messed that fish up, though. That poor fish. They messed that thing up. But anyway, anything, you know what I'm going to tell you, you might like, try this one. And then report back to us how you, it's called bronzini. Try the bronzini. That's a very, very good fish.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good.
And a bass?
Bronzini.
Cynthia said bass. What about a bass?
Yes. Sea bass. Sea bass is good.
Black bass. Black bass.
Yep, black bass. Blackfish. You got
bronzino, whiting.
Whiting. Now I'm just going to put a little asterisk by the whiting. Okay. Whiting actually is by nature, it is based on where you get it from. It is a fins and scales, but as it has where they are living. Some of the waters have gotten really bad, or it's caused them because of the ecosystem. Probably one of the plankton or something dealing with the coral or something has caused their ecosystem to change a little bit. So they tend to now float closer to the bottom. So some of the actual whiting have started to grow what's called a barbel. A barbel. Y'all know what a barbel is? Barbel? It's like a little tentacle. It's like one barbel has grown on there. That means that he's starting to go down and he's feeling on the bottom. A barbel is like the catfish that uses to touch, to tap. Yeah. It's like he's touched in the field, you know, it's the feelers. And that's what they do. Anything that has barbels, you don't want. Also, carp has done that too. Carp has started to get barbels also. Sea fish never really had that, but because they had to, now they're starting to mutate and migrate because of where they can't get, you know, upper swimming anymore. It can't get because it uses the plankton or whatever is no longer there. They got to go farther down. So this fish naturally was an upper swimmer, but now they're starting to patrol smaller levels and they grow a barbel. That's what it does. It's a mutation. Yeah. Natural mutation though. Yeah.
Dr. Paul.
How do you know if a fish has a barbel?
Right. I just said, that's what I'm saying. You can look at it.
Yeah,
if you buy fresh fish, you'll see it. Yeah.
Dr. Paul, down in the Maryland area, they said the water is so bad. It's like they said that 40% of the fish don't even swim there no more.
They don't even fish there no more. Yeah, they can't.
And they said what caused it was because they got a lot of chicken farms down there. And what's happening was they were taking the waste. They were taking the waste and they were letting it run into the river, and it killed the oxygen in the water. And because I got one of my members, his whole family are fishermen down there, and crabbers and fishermen. And it doesn't kill the fish.
Yeah, why we can't get it's already. And then, yep, that's the same thing that happened up here. See, we had Barnegat Light, you have Point Pleasant, you have Fortescue, you have all those places up here that used to be on the outlet where you have the called the dropout point. Those used to be some of the best places to fish. That's where we caught the croakers, the weekies, and any of the bad, all those fish used to be right there, but they're all gone because now what you just said, Rev, along with the dredging and what they're also doing with, taking the crustacean out the ocean, which are the cleanup crew. What's to clean up the ocean anymore?
Have mercy.
Nothing's to clean up the ocean. What do you think the shrimp, the lobster, the crabs do? That's their job. Y'all just took them out there. I went in the Big B. I went to the fish store the other day, and I started apologizing to the shrimp and the crabs. I'm sorry the way they treat you like this, because they only trying to keep this ocean clean. And
can't even do the job they were created to do, man.
Yep, they're doing what they do. That's it. But again, you got to watch them because they're pulling them also where the contaminated beds are. So there's a lot of petroleum, a lot of oil with that. So be careful, family.
Okay. All right, Vanessa. All right, what we'll do now, let's
go.
Hey,
guys, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you got it.
Good stuff. All right, good questions.
You got a question up? Then we'll go to Gwendolyn. This is from Donna. With COVID, is there anything else I can do besides 5-day quarantine and taking Paxlovid 2 times a day for 5 days?
There's a lot of things. We have a protocol. We have a protocol for COVID. And Prophetess, do you still have that?
You know what? The Prophetess got knocked off, Doctor. There she's back. She's back. Yeah, there she is.
I'm back, but that was the first thing I put in because I did see that question.
Okay. Great. Okay.
So the protocol for COVID is in the chat box.
Okay, it's in the chat box. And can you read that, Prophetess? Look. I don't have it up. Can you read it out for those that may be listening by phone?
Sure. For those who are listening by phone, but for those who are looking, I put it in at 8:02. So this is the daily dose fight for COVID-19.
Not the diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul.
Wow.
Just food for the soul. It is vitamin A.
Yeah, there it is. I'm looking at it.
Beta carotene, that's 200,000 IUs. garlic at 5,000 mgs,
milligrams, right?
Vitamin C, 5,000 milligrams, zinc, 50 to 70 milligrams, vitamin D, 10,000 IUs, extra strength oregano oil, that's 2 drops under your tongue, 2 to 3 times daily. For children, elderberry syrup or Old Indian wild cherry bark syrup. And that Old Indian the name has been changed. I need to correct that.
Dr. Tierra's, right?
Dr. Tierra, wild cherry bark.
Formerly Old Indian wild cherry bark syrup. Yeah.
So it's not one, this is not one of those things where you get to take one and that's it. You have to take all of those together as a daily dose.
And I would say try to get evaluated before you do anything. Okay. Yes. Because that's really, you want to make sure you're on point. See, remember, it's holistic. So you have to make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Because if you're taking these herbs and things, nothing's going to work unless you get your water absolutely on point. Got it? So I would say get an assessment if you could. Or even if you can't come out, get a phone consultation and we'll walk you through it, okay? Yeah. All right. Somebody has sardines. Who is that? Snapper. Now, the red snapper.
That is your list of fish to buy and fish not to get.
Okay. Now, I'm looking at... Now, sardines are not bad. They're okay. Sardines it's the canned sardines.
There you go.
Yeah, the canned sardines just with an asterisk, meaning that you got to make sure that it says non-GMO, because they are starting to make changes with that. They're sort of becoming more conscious with that. So as long as it says sardines, sardines are actually a healthier fish because they're small. It's the big fish that become the most toxic. Remember, them big fish been down there a long time. Got it? So they're more susceptible to parasites. That's the same reason why the crabs, the most toxic of the crabs are those big ones. Like the king, what's it? The king crab. And what's the other one? The Dungeness crab. All those are big boys. They've been down there a long time. Some of those crabs can live 100 years old.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of parasites. That's a lot of parasites. So
but Dr. Paul, the king crab is the most expensive crab.
Yeah, I know. It's got something for you, all right.
They're the most expensive crabs that there are.
Yeah.
And because Apostle Kenny, his family they're fishermen and crabbers.
Yeah.
And he gave me the whole scoop on it because he knows.
Yeah. So
red snapper, Dr. Paul. What about red snapper?
Red snapper is good. Yep.
What about porgies?
Porgies, of course. Absolutely, porgies. Y'all used to have we used to have a guy that came around the way in Philly, down around the way in North Philly. He used to be the the fish man.
Fish man, yeah.
Y'all remember Fish Man? Anybody remember Fish Man?
Yeah.
Fish Man used to come down there. He had a rap. You remember his rap? He had a rap. Did you remember his rap?
I got porgies. I got whitey. They had that. They had
Rochelle. Actually, I had every kid around there had his rap down. He would come by every Friday. You know, Friday was fish day, right?
Yeah.
He say, fish, band, fish man. That was his rap.
That was a good one.
Yeah, boy.
You should see people coming out the house.
They come running out, man.
Running out the house like it was the ice cream man. They be coming out the house.
I was just getting ready to say, just get him an ice cream truck with that on, boy, and roll the neighborhood.
He had that rap down, boy. Every kid around there was like bobbing their head as he was coming through. So, yeah, don't miss them days.
I know that's, man. I know that's
right.
That was
a long history, man. That was long history.
Yes.
Going back, I mean, like, the turn of the century, the guys in the wagons.
Yeah, man. Please.
Yeah. It's a lot of history there,
Yeah. Yes, that was old Philadelphia. That was old Philadelphia. That was old America.
Man.
Old America.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, who else we got there, Big
All right,
B?
Dr. P got a question, and you can take up Gwendolyn next. But I think this is Gwendolyn's question: how much red yeast rice should be taken a day to control high cholesterol? But Gwen, that you still there? Come on in.
Yes, yeah. That was my question. I have high cholesterol, and so one doctor, he was medical and herbs. What do you call that? What kind of doctor do you call that? Whatever it is. Yeah. Oh, integrative.
Integrative.
Right.
Yes.
So right. So he suggested that I take the red yeast rice. So I've been taking that since January. And so I just had blood done yesterday, and my cholesterol is still high. Particularly, I guess the LDL, that's the bad. Right. So that's 161, which is I don't know. It's high.
Well, let me give you my spin. Okay. And my spin is a little bit different. Okay. My spin goes back to, with your cholesterol issues, it's the oils. Watch the oils. All right. Because when they're talking about the balancer of the high density HDL, LDL, low density, is your liver. Got it? But they're not talking about the liver. See, you can't have HDL and LDL, and they say good cop, bad cop, and understand that the LDL can't be bad if the body still makes it. It's out of balance. Got it? So why is it out of balance? It's out of balance because the liver is gunking up from the oils. When we start to correct the oils, get you off of the refined canola oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, all that saturated stuff, and now the liver starts to come back. See, it has to gunks up the liver like a car that's never had an oil change. Got it? So rice, things like red yeast rice has been always known. People wonder, why does it do what it do? It's because the red yeast rice is a great filtration system for the liver. Now you see what's going on, why it's good. Got it?
Okay.
So what's the underlying problem? It's the liver. You got it? So watch your oils. Watch your oil. What kind of oils do you have?
Well, I only use olive oil, regardless of what kind of oil a recipe calls for. I only use olive oil. So,
what kind of oil is it coming from? What kind of olive oil? Because that does matter also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you talked about that before.
Make sure it's not the one from where? Italy. Make sure it's not Italy.
Okay. You said oils. Spain. I think you said Spain was the good oil.
Right. You got a few places. You have Spain, you have Greece, you have Turkey, and you have Morocco. Morocco is the best.
Okay.
So I would kind of pull off of that olive oil, and anything that you're having that can challenge the liver to work extra hard. That means meat also.
Okay.
Right? You got to watch your meat intake.
Okay.
Because that causes the body to, now I got to break this meat down. Remember, your liver has to do all this work, has to create the enzyme, break the meat down. Body's like, why are you making me work? I'm trying to give you the energy, but now I got to use energy to get energy. Got it? So just try to pull off the heavy meats, lighter things like fish. Watch your oils.
Yeah, I only eat poultry and salmon. So that's bad, huh?
They just came out with a study on poultry,
and I heard some of that lately, and I was just cringing. I got to do something about it.
Yeah, and of course, the salmon is genetically modified now, so you got to watch it. That's why we say, if you're going to do salmon, alternatives, steelhead trout, or one of the ones we just mentioned.
Right, and I wrote all of those down. They showed on the news, how chickens have changed over the years, and they showed this little tiny chicken from, I guess, early in the 1900s, and what the chicken looks like today. And that was scary.
Yeah. I had a guy that was, I did a seminar downtown one time, just around, I forget where I was. I was at a seminar. And after the seminar was over, I had a guy came over to me, and he says, Dr. Paul, you ever see the three-legged chicken? I said, no, I have not. He said, well, they're out there. He said,
I guess I should try to go back when I was a kid in North Carolina. My aunt would kill chickens, and I didn't want any parts of that chicken. But that's
So it's just, I would say, if you want to control the cholesterol, just pull off the meat as much as you can. Okay. Try to do lighter things like fish. Watch your oils. Sunflower, safflower. Okay. Those are lighter. Avocado, grapeseed. Those are the ones that are a lot better. They're not as dense. Okay.
Okay.
And they may work better. Make sure they're all unrefined.
Okay. Sunflower, avocado oil, grapeseed, and safflower.
Those tend to be a better, and they have high smoke points also. So the smoke point on sunflower and safflower is about 528 degrees. So that's like broiling temperatures. That's what they use for hibachi grills.
Oh, okay. So is hibachi food good?
Well, depends what they're putting on the grill.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's the grill.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're putting on the grill. Yep. So, you just have to make sure that, a lot of the hibachis, what do they have on there? They have the tuna sometimes. They do have salmon. But I would beg to differ. I just watch the salmon right now.
Right. Yeah, I wrote down the fish that you recommend. And one other question is about magnesium glycinate. Is it? Is that the preferred magnesium over others, or?
I would not do this separate. I would not get it as a separate supplement. I would get the magnesium from its greatest source, which is the plant. Okay. The greatest source of anything green is the highest magnesium. When you get it separated, remember, I'm not even a fan of supplements. Right, because remember, you're separating, isolating, and dividing it from its main source. If you pull it from its source from which it comes, nothing operates by itself. That's the biggest mistake they always make. They don't realize that highest source of magnesium that came from that plant was also being balanced by other minerals and nutrients.
Okay.
But when we get that, then they wonder why this magnesium is not totally working. That's because you abandoned it from its family. So go back to the source for the highest magnesium. Things like, not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Something like alfalfa would be great for that. Any of the sea vegetables, these are magnesium. These things are high in nutrients. Any of the plants that are land, those are all going to be high in magnesium. Okay.
All right.
Dr. Paul, I'm originally from Central North Carolina, and the area that I'm from, the Country Pride and Purdue they've taken over all the chicken farms.
Bad news.
And what they're doing is they're putting steroids in these chickens.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what's happening to them. That's why they're so big now.
Yes, and you look at the chicken, the color's not right. They got too much fat in them, too much blood, and it's because it would take us about a year to raise a chick into a full blown fryer. They're doing it in 6 weeks.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, and they're also genetically engineering them too.
Exactly.
And they genetically engineer them to cut the process for what they take the chicken through, which in this case they're growing them without beaks.
Yep, there you go.
The debeaking process. If you ever seen a debeaker, I'm sure Rev, also you've seen this. They got this hot knife that comes down.
Cuts them right off.
Put it right there and pulls it right off, throws them to the side. That's a whole step that's alleviated if the chicken the chick doesn't have a beak to begin with.
Yeah.
So that eliminates that whole process. So it's
but this is what they're doing, Dr. Paul. They come in and they say, listen, we don't want your land. All we want you to do is grow chickens our way. We'll give you brand new houses. We'll guarantee you the best price you can get. And a lot of the farmers have given, and if you want your land back, you can have it back. And they put that financial incentive in there, and the farmers are
caving in.
Eating it up. Caving in.
Well, they want profits.
Sure, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not about food, it's about profits.
Yeah.
And they put them in an unfavorable position where they have no other option.
Exactly.
To survive, and they even paid them to not grow certain products on the other farmer's side. And it's a lot of manipulation going on right now, and the farmers are just trying to do what they got to do.
Yeah,
so,
farmers trying to make a profit.
Yep, they're trying to survive.
And they tapped into them like that. And when you go to Wendy's, McDonald's, places like that with them nuggets, that's where that stuff come from.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you wonder why your kids look like elephants and they got big.
Right. That's what contributes to child obesity.
Yes, and boys have breastises, I can say. That's where all that stuff is coming from.
Yeah, and you also look at we on the side of the natural side, we look at that people will say, oh, well, they're growing up faster. Of course, women are starting to develop faster. They're having their cycles and their periods faster. All of this happens and comes from, and they say, well, they're growing up faster. No, they're not growing up faster.
No.
They're tearing down. They're tearing down.
Tearing them down.
That means they're getting older faster.
Yes.
So that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. So that means as the youth, that's what it's racing.
It's taking their lives away from them.
Well, it's the hormones. It's the hormones that they're putting in these chickens that are firing off, and it throws off the endocrine system. Now the system moves faster. That means you're aging faster.
Yes. My.
That might stop somebody from eating chicken right there.
I know that's right.
That's where I am right now.
Hey, Gwendolyn, let's get off. We got to stay cute. You know what I'm saying?
If that came out that chicken make you old, we get trouble.
Yeah, but nothing like a yard bird that you go and snap his neck and get him fresh.
Don't you know? That's what my grandmama used to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what my aunt used to do. She would snap those necks. Those chicken would be hopping all over that.
I know that's right.
Man, that was the most devastating moment in my life I had.
If I see it, I won't eat it.
That was me.
When I was living,
I saw a lot of that, Letty.
When I was in Virginia, my father, Georgia, we had a window in our backyard. Like, you had a window that overlooked the backyard, right? And I just came home from school. And Pop came from the backyard. He entered from the backyard, and he was bringing all these cages in, of the chickens.
That's right.
That's
right.
And I'm like, yeah, we got pets. We got pets.
No.
Well, I'm looking at the window, and then he just took one out and snapped his neck and threw it. Oh, man, I must have passed out when I was little. I was like,
oh, Lord.
I lost it.
Call that murder.
Hey, with that big metal tub of hot water in
it,
hot water, drop it right in so you can pluck them right after.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's enough for the birds.
All right, let's go.
Let's move on.
Prophet's got to keep us on time here. All right, Gwen, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That went a long way, Gwen.
All right,
that changes my shopping list.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Paul, just before we go up to Calvin, I had a question here from Sandra Wilson. What are your thoughts about sea moss and sea moss gel, Dr. Paul?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, excellent. Nothing but the best, but you got to get the right stuff. Get the right ones.
Sandra, any particular comment on that? What do you say?
I would say just make sure you know the person that you're getting the sea moss. Some of the best comes out of St. Lucia. And that's just it. You got to know where you're getting it from. There is phony knockoff versions of sea moss. Absolutely. There's some that you got to know what to look for. We got Derek. Derek is a friend of the family tree. He's the one that sells the sea moss. If y'all want his number, that's the sea moss man. He usually comes on, usually ends. He's usually working right now. He always tells me he's trying to get on right after we're just getting off. Yeah. But if y'all want if you like his number, I can give his number. Or Prophetess, do you have Derek's number? Do you have his number in there?
I'm looking now. I have a message.
Okay, while you're looking,
but his number is not in it.
I see Sandra's picture came up, Dr. Paul. Let's see. Sandra, what you got to say about it?
I have his number.
How are you? I met some of your followers at Cowtown a couple of weeks ago, and my name is Sandra Williams. I'm the owner of Caribbean Bush Tea. I am originally from the Caribbean, and I do sell sea moss, and I do get it from St. Lucia. And so I just wanted to know what your opinion was on it, because that's something that I grew up with from being in the Caribbean. It's just something that we've always utilized, and so just all different benefits that it has. So
absolutely, it's nothing but the best. You know, it is one of the highest alkalizers that you can have. It has the long chain triglycerides, which means that like a dragnet, just as it looks when it grows, which is the curliness of it. That is when you look under the microscope, it looks the same. It grabs and claws. So that means it's excellent for mucus in the body, pulls out all of that gunk in the body out of you. So it's absolutely the best. If you can get the purple, that would be good. You got the purple over there?
I have the gold, I have the purple, I have the green, I have the rainbow. I absolutely do, and get it directly from St. Lucia.
Awesome. Give them your number, Sandra. Welcome to the platform, and give them your number where they can contact you.
Okay, you can find me on the website CaribbeanBushTea.com, and that's our website, and I can put my number in on the chat.
Can you put all that information in on the chat, your number and your where we can follow you? Appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, thank you,
Sandra. Thanks for the question.
Welcome,
appreciate that.
And thank you for that. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Dr. Paul, can I ask a question?
Sure.
That sea moss, is all of it organic, or is it okay coming from the Caribbean because of the water that it's growing in?
No, it's good. That's where you want it, closer to the equator. Yep.
But it doesn't have to say organic when you get it dry to try to make it yourself?
No, usually if it's coming from, like I was saying, it's the source which it's coming from. As long as it's coming from a good source and you know where the people are coming from, it's actually excellent that if somebody's from there, that's even better. Like Sandra said, she's from there. That's the ones that I would lean towards getting the real knowledge and information from, people that are from that area, because they know where the best cultivation of it comes from. So I would go with someone that's from there, but you don't have to worry about those other things. The other thing you have to worry about is maybe the over processing it when they put it in other forms. There's a lot of people selling it. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people. So you got to be careful. Just know who you're getting it from.
Yes.
So I would just, test it out. Give Sandra a call. She'll tell you. Just ask her the questions, just like you're asking me now. And I think that she can help you with that understanding. All right. Okay. Let's see. Who else we got there?
All right, Kelvin. You there? Kelvin. I know you because I know you were there just now.
Before you go, let me.
I'm here.
Okay, Calvin, you there? Okay, go ahead, Calvin.
I was up in Philly. I went to a co-op at 48th and Baltimore, and Dr. Paul, I found these Beyond Burgers made with avocado oil.
Okay, Beyond with no. Say that again for me, Calvin.
Beyond Burgers made with avocado oil, no canola oil. No canola oil. And water, pea protein. What else is on here? Hold on a second.
They just redid their whole lineup of stuff. Beyond Burger just did.
Yeah, because you know why? We started pressing.
Repackaged it and everything.
I know you were talking about it back in the winter.
They pressed them big time, and they started to change up because
It's just let's go beyond them and leave it alone.
Air fryer, pretty good.
Yeah, he said they taste pretty good. Apparently, you have one. Okay.
You were saying no canola oil, so
Yeah, but that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason we were saying it. We were saying it because they were finding that they were using a form of modifying. They were doing some form of a modification to it. It was more of a GMO. That's why they put it in the form of a GMO. So now I'm just saying, man, it's just too. I would just say, do it yourself, y'all. Do it yourself. You're going to make them burgers.
Yes.
Do it yourself. Make it yourself. Go online. There's a lot of brothers and sisters with recipes. You remember I told y'all The brother and sister, the sister that was the brother and sister that was doing it on here. You know, you can do it yourself. Yes. It just gives me the willies. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. I just would not mess with it. I mean, it's just too suspect.
Can you put the recipe in the chat? You were saying a brother that making her own and all that.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find that because there's a lot. All you really have to do is punch in YouTube, plant-based burgers, and you can see. I mean, there's tons of them. I mean, people out here, everybody has their version of it.
Yeah.
And you can make it. I saw some that were good, some of them that were bad. So you just gotta, you gotta kind of get the ingredients, and then you make your own. What you would do it. I would think it's safer. I just think safer, Calvin.
Yeah. Also, like last week, and you were talking about xylitol, and I think I put in the chat. Well, like Periupright has xylitol in it too.
Yes, it does. You remember, I've been saying this a long time, Gal.
But you were saying before regarding with the erythritol or something. You were saying that monk fruit, don't do that.
No talls is what we said. Remember, yeah, no talls. Nothing. No talls. Erythritol or xylitol. No talls. See, when you have talls, those are derivatives of sugar. Your body can't deal with derivatives. It only deals with the truth, and that truth is either unrefined, which means it's in its raw state. We are the processors. We are the converters. No exceptions to the rule. So all of that stuff with xylitol, erythritol, it dehydrates you and starts to now pull your moisture. Just like everything else, it's used as a sweetener, but it's also a high preservative. That's what they use it for. It keeps it on the shelf longer. It's going to pull your moisture. You got high blood pressure? That's why they're finding xylitol is causing now strokes and heart attacks. That's why you got to stay away from that stuff. Yeah.
Now, what I did, I went on Google and I Googled herb-based mouthwashes. So, tea tree oil, like combination tea tree oil and baking soda, good source water, honey.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of put some things together and not really deal with the xylitol stuff. Just make my own,
Yeah. And here's where we have to watch out because we're so caught up in conveniences. This is how they catch us slipping. They catch us slipping by making it more convenient. You don't have to do all that work, but really you do. You really do to stay safe. To stay safe, you have to start to do the stuff yourself. You got to get back to really.
Yeah, I got to get back to.
I mean, you got to really to test what they're doing and the processes that things go to. It's just too radical. They're just too radical. And you can't find things. Remember, I told y'all, we're past the point we're going into somewhere like Whole Foods or Mom's or Trader Joe's or somewhere and finding the perfect food. That day is over. Those days are over. Those days are over. You're on defense now. Your defense is to cleanse every change of seasons, get it in, get it out. Just keep your immune system high. You're not going to find the perfect food. It's just not going to happen. We're not there. We're not there anymore. Yep. So
that's all I got.
All right, Cal.
Dr. Paul, 85% of that stuff got preservatives in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to keep it on the shelf to sell it. So in order for me to sell it, they got to keep it on there long enough for you to pass by there to buy it. And that's the battle.
I'm gonna keep it at eye level.
All that preservative stuff is drying you inside out. That's what's rolling that pressure up.
Dr. Paul, I'm on dialysis, and one of the things I noticed about all the patients in there, every one of them got knee problems. Every one of them got knee problems. My knees, I have to warm up before I can take off. And all of them struggle with what's that? Phosphorus? What do you call it? Phosphorus. Phosphorus. They all struggle with phosphorus because it's in all foods.
Yeah. That's all this. These different things are dehydrating.
The gum preservers
and blood pressure issues.
Yeah, all blood pressure, but when we really break it down, it comes back to hydration again. That's it. One thing that I saw when I went to Africa, When I went to Africa and I saw all the Ghanaian people, I saw that their eyes were all yellow. And I said to myself, I says, you know what? This is a issue with their water. Yeah, because their water is all purified. The worst waters I tell you I saw was in the bottles, but yet the water under their feet was the best water. That was amazing to me.
Yeah, yeah. So, I've been to Ghana, and trust me, it's just like that.
Yeah, and then so we know that this stuff has to clean the liver, and your liver needs that real water. Yeah, it's these things called porins. See, your body can only absorb when these porins are in the cellular level of your cells, right? They have these things called porins, and their charge, their polarity charge of porins is a positive charge. Got it? So when you have water that's in the environment where this water is, invades these cells, these porins are not going to allow anything other than the opposite polarity charge, which is what? There you go. Negative charge.
There you go, buddy.
You got it? Just like a magnet, they do what? Boop, they'll stick together, right? That's the way you absorb water into the cell. But these porins, if they are exposed to positive charged water, which is what? Purified, filtered, reverse osmosis, distilled waters, all those waters are positive charged. That's acid. They repel. That's why people say, I'm drinking this water, I'm still thirsty. You ever had that expression?
Oh, yeah.
Heard people say that. Say, I'm drinking this water, I'm still thirsty. That's because these porins are positive charged, and they are protecting a barrier of the cell so that anything that it only accepts. Remember, I told y'all the body is a perfect system created by a genius. I only accept the truth. And the only one I'm going to let in here is going to be the truth. I'll go acidic before I let anything bad come into this cell. Wow, you can't see God, you ain't looking.
I know that's right, buddy.
You can't see God,
I know that's
you ain't
right,
looking, man. Woo, awesome. So that's why you got to do the good water. That's why the crystal geyser or any spring water bottle at the source that's naturally negatively charged. That's alkaline. Got it? Bottled at the source. That means your cells can understand that. I can receive that. And like a magnet, it absorbs that. But as long as that water goes into any other state than that alkaline, it repels it. That's why you will not get, it'll push it right out the system. Can't absorb it. You got it? Okay.
What hurts our community, Dr. Paul, is we don't read.
Yeah.
Man, please, let's not even go there, but you know that.
Yeah, that's why
we don't read. We don't read. You want to hide it from us, put it where you got to read it.
Put it in a book. That's right. You got that.
And now they're making the print so much smaller. You can't hardly need a magnifying glass.
I know that's right.
That's why when they're putting that bioengineering, I'm gonna tell y'all, watch that bioengineering is always going to be at the very bottom.
Very bottom.
Small print.
Now I've actually
small print.
I've been going in all the different sections of the stores, and I'm noticing in the bakery section. You know how they put that little slap on the front? You know how the bakery, like if it may be like some bread or something, they'll put it in as those plastic containers. Right. And they're putting one sticker that's like right over
wraps around to hold it together.
If you start to go into those areas, flip that. You'll now start to see made with bioengineered ingredients, even in the bakery section. You gotta watch this, y'all. You gotta watch,
especially in the cereal.
Yeah, cereal, all of that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Be careful.
My wife noticed that. I went to pick up a Popular Banana cereal that my kids, have always eaten. And my wife said, put that back. I said, why? She flipped it over all the way at the bottom, and the smallest writing you can read. It had that GMO on it.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. The bioengineered ingredients. That's right.
All right, Calvin, that's it. Okay, let's go.
All right, Brother Calvin. Thank you, man. Good question, Calvin.
Great. Before I go to Stephanie, there's a question here from Ian. Ian says, I'm on the journey for better health. My question is, where can I find some raw herbs so I can start growing it myself? Because I watch a lot of Dr. Sebi videos, Dr. Bobby Price videos.
Yeah, you just have to start to, if you go online, there's plenty of people that are selling heirloom seeds. Okay, heirloom. This is all you got to look for is heirlooms. Heir.
HEIRLOOM.
Yep, that's it. Heirlooms. And there's tons of people that are selling this stuff because not everybody wants for the fake out. So you just link up with someone that's selling heirloom seeds. I would also recommend you ask them what soils they recommend. Remember, I just told y'all about the soils that are going right now. Non-genetically modified seeds and soils. Those are what we would look for.
You see the commercials, Paula Dean is hustling soil. She's hustling soil.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there are a lot of questions about dandelion root. The prophet has answered a lot of that stuff in the chat, so make sure you order a copy of the chat. That information is all there. We get a chance to get to it live. It's theirs, okay?
Yeah. So dandelion root, if somebody has a question about dandelion root, or is it already answered? Yep.
It's already been answered.
Yep. So dandelion root, for those that are listening,
cleansing
is a good
herb.
Yep, cleansing herb. Is definitely for liver, kidneys. Got it. Also for circulation.
Right.
For the lymphatic system. Yep. All of the above. Yep. It pulls water off the legs.
I know that's right. All right, let's go to Stephanie Ama. Stephanie, you there up in the corner?
Hey, Stephanie.
How are you?
What's up, Stephanie?
Like I've been going for a year, Pastor Dr. Paul. Pastor Bill. I'm glad to be back in the house. I've been so busy. It's so crazy.
Yes.
But even though I've been away from, here the meeting, whenever I get, the video from Apostle Bill over there, it's always on time. It's like everything I've been thinking about or concerned, it'd be something there that will meet my needs. Praise God.
I'm glad to hear that. Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I told you I beat him up, Stephanie, so as soon as it gets done every week.
Yes, he does.
He gets the info to me and I get to work as soon as he gets it to me.
Yes, he does.
He's making a mark.
Yes, he does. He beats me up. Yeah.
I got a couple questions and they've been all adding up over the weeks. But the first one is, what do you think about balsamic and jasmine rice?
Yeah, they fall on the low acid. If you look at the alkaline acid food chart, they're not bad. Just make sure again where you're getting them from. When they fall on the acid alkaline food chart, just make sure. I would still go with the darker, black rice, wild rice.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I sort of lean to. But they're not bad.
Okay. You touched on a couple things already, but I wanted going from the other side. I know someone who believes that red yeast rice is called muscle fatigue in their body, low energy. Is that possible? And then they want to treat it with CoQ10.
I would say that goes back to the previous conversation about red yeast rice. And that's you have to understand that when you have something like rice, it's going to dehydrate. It's going to pull moisture. Remember, just like if you're making rice, right, and you're boiling it, what happens? It absorbs all that water, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, same thing. So it's going to do the same thing inside of you. Got it? So what happens is usually if it's causing muscle fatigue, I'm sure I'm just taking educated guess. I'm not saying this is the person's situation, but it's probably because of their water. They're probably not drinking enough water. And then it starts to stress the liver. Liver is dealing with, the nuclear reactor. That's your power source. Got it? That's your liver is your nuclear reactor. That's what makes everything happen, but it needs water. And it not only needs water, but the right water. If it doesn't, it's going to start to deal with energy. Got it? That's your power reactor. That's the only organ connected directly to your brain. Laws of complementary pairs says it's connected, which means that's connected to your brain. So now you're feeling tired. I'm feeling dragging. Oh boy, I'm really tired. Yep. You got to look at the liver on that power reactor.
Okay. That's good. And the other thing is, if a person has vertigo, will they always have it with dizziness, or can they just, fall out because?
No, I mean, you have to look at the underlying cause for vertigo. Sometimes it's structural first. That's why we say anything dealing with vertigo, dizziness, things like that. First thing we look at is structural issues. Got it? Make sure there's no structural issue with bone touching nerve, any pinched nerve in the neck, usually C1, C2. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, C1, C2. Yep. Atlas, axis, C1, C2 is the areas you got to look at. That scapula muscle goes all the way up to that area. You can pull. And that usually comes from dehydration also. Muscles getting tired, getting thick, getting hard, getting tight. Start to pull. Sometimes people have a favorite side they carry the bag. And that one side is versus the other tightens that muscle. I had one guy who was, he actually loads planes, right? So he's loading the plane. This is his job every day. Y'all see me? Can y'all see me? He moves this way, right? Well, one side of his back is stronger than the other. So he was having all these issues, but then I said, did you ever try doing the other way? He said, yeah. So he tried to do it the other way, where he going this way. And guess what? It corrected a lot of problems. So just take in mind, that's why I talk about that row machine. Get that balance of row to stretch that back. But for vertigo, you got to first start with the cervical, make sure there's no misalignments. Next is hydration. Dehydration does play a big part. If you're dehydrated, yep, he's going to get dizzy. That's where that other stuff comes from. So we do an underlying sort of like probing thing. So that's just two things I would check out first.
I definitely want to have my mom check because she has been having like falling spells. Yesterday she said she just fell and she wasn't dizzy, but then she said she had 2 cups, full cups of coffee, regular coffee.
Okay, now stop right there. Okay. Now that brings another question. Okay, because definitely I would say have her come in for an assessment. Now, as we get older, okay, remember, as we get older, that can be a problem because a lot of the seniors, and she's senior, that getting around, we got to watch out for our seniors, because a lot of times when they have dizziness, that can be caused by other things that are going on, like urinary tract infections. Got it? Be careful. Now, not to say that's a situation, of course, but it's just speaking in general, okay? When we hold our urine, remember, you don't hold your urine. You hold that urine in your lower pelvic floor. We call it the pelvic floor. That area is the hottest place in your body. Got it? When that hottest place in your body sits, now that builds up. If you're holding your urine, that now becomes the perfect condition for bacteria to grow. So women, you have a smaller urethra than men, of course. So that means that you got to stop holding it. If you hold it in that area, that can cause infections. Next thing you know, you go to the bathroom, you say, wow, I go to the bathroom, I feel like I still got to go. I feel like I didn't totally empty out. Well, that's usually because it feels full, but it's really empty. The lining of the bladder could be slightly infected. Now, with seniors, we got to watch them because they can't get to the bathroom all the time, and it's a little hard for them to get back and forth, or even they don't even want to drink the water because it's going to make them go to the bathroom, right? So with that being the case, when they got to go to the bathroom, they say, well, I don't have to go all the way up them steps, or it may be based on the situation they're in. So a lot of them tend to get these infections, and these infections now start to do what? When your heart believes that there's an infection or knows there's an infection, speed up the heart to burn out that infection. Palpitations, heart starts to race. Got it? Now the heart's beating fast. Now the body temperature goes up. Body temperature goes up now to, we say, higher past the point of about 100 degrees, sometime past 98, 99. If you're getting it too high, that can get too close to the boiling temperature of blood, which is 108. Now, I got this heat on the brain. Seniors start to get discombobulated, dizziness, and next thing you know, they fall. Got it?
That is amazing.
So what's happening? You got to watch it, because a lot of the, a lot of hospitals and ERs, when the people come in, you say, oh, these seniors keep coming in here. They talking all crazy and they falling and they bumbling all over it. They have an infection. Got it? Usually those are infections. So what I would do, make sure she doesn't have an infection, test the body temperature. Okay, make sure you test her body temperature. Keep an eye on that body temperature. Anything rolling past, remember, what's the body temperature normal? Would be what? 98.6, right?
Yes.
Once it starts going past 98.6, you may be running a fever on there. If she's sweating and she's getting a little discombobulated, and you notice her speech starts to change a little bit, that could be infection. So be careful, okay?
I know what you're saying is right, because last month she was diagnosed with a urinary tract infection.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Just make sure you get her plenty of water. Make it accessible, easily accessible, if it's possible, to get her back and forth to the bathroom. Because you have to encourage her that she has to do that. Now, there are some herbal things that she can do that can help her with that, but I would have to speak to you on a couple of matters before I would do a consultation. So that would be a consultation. Okay. So if you can't come out, just give me a phone call. We'll do a phone call.
I will. When I'm with her, I'll do that after work. Last thing. What do you think about cellular nutrition and cell food?
Cellular nutrition, you mean like the drops and stuff?
Yes.
Some of it is good. It depends on what we're looking at. I saw some good ones and I saw some bad ones. I saw some good ones. I saw some bad ones. I saw some where you add the water and it's supposed to make it better, and then it made it worse. So I would say get your green drinks. That's the best thing you can do. Is your green drinks. Cell food is green food. That's it. That's the best cell food you got. Is green. Yep. Keep it green, y'all.
Amen and hallelujah.
Okay.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
That's all for me. Thank you.
All right.
Take
Dr.
care.
Our last one up is Nita. We're up against the clock, but Nita's there. Nita?
How is everyone?
Just wonderful.
Grand rising to you.
Grand rising.
Listen, first of all, Calvin, you have to go beyond that burger, and that means get rid of it and do your thing. So that was go beyond. That's what that means.
No pun intended, right, Nita?
And the other thing, if Karam is still on, he needs to come to Gibsonton, Florida, because we have no rain yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
still on.
So Nita, you're in Florida right now?
No, but I checked with my neighbor because I wanted to know if was there any flooding. She said, Nita, it's hot here. My grass is turning brown. We need rain. I said, okay, I'll check with you tomorrow because I don't want my pool to overflow.
That's amazing. So Nita, when they said there was no rain, what section is that?
Yeah. I'm in Gibsonton, which is near Riverview and Apollo Beach and Sun City. It's outside of Tampa, about 40 minutes outside of Tampa.
So you're on the west side. I'm
on the west side, yes.
Wow. Karen,
the earth is amazing, isn't it?
Karen, where are you?
I'm looking at the NOAA map now, and yes, north of Tampa, it's dry as a bone. There is a cell over Tampa right now, but I'm on South Florida, southeast, and there's just a system hovering over us nonstop. So
wow, that's amazing. There's a lot going on with this weather pattern.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if y'all know about it, but there's some solar flares that are kicking off. Y'all know about the solar
flares? They've been kicking heavy this week, man. My TV's been jumping all over the place.
Yeah. So what's happening with the solar flares? They have the latest one just jumped off. I believe it was yesterday, and it was actually one of the highest ones since 2017. Now, we've been seeing this solar activity has been really hitting us lately since it's been over like two or 3 months now. Now, what's happening is this stuff is kicking off, and you're going to see these weather patterns really change. So you're seeing now, of course, we're in the East Coast about to get hit with this heat coming this way, y'all.
Yeah, buddy.
So make sure you check with make sure your HVAC system is up to date. Your filters, all those things, because it's going to start pulling serious power. And the fans are up to date, things like that. Okay.
And check your seniors, make sure they're drinking. They have to drink.
Yes,
The other thing is talking about, a suggestion with the blood pressure monitors. I suggest keep them at your bedside. So first thing in the morning, you wake up and you can check your pressure. So you don't have any activity. The last thing I want to mention, and I'm going to do more research on it, and I said I was going to do it, talking about the cholesterol, because when they draw these cholesterol levels, the doctors don't even realize it, don't know, they haven't been taught. But if you Google the cholesterol ratios, that's the important number, and they're important indicators of vascular risk and can help determine the person's risk of heart disease. Your ratios. So, and when I go and get my blood work, your cholesterol is high. I said, well, what's my ratio? I need to, I've already looked at it because I get copies of my blood work. And my brother and I, we go over it, and because I'm learning more. He said, what's your ratio? That's what he asked me. And he said, your ratio is fine. And reading on the research I've done, yes, my ratio is in good levels. So you have to really understand, Google cholesterol ratios, read up about the ratios. And I think the ratio is the division of total cholesterol with I have to look it back up, total cholesterol with I think the HDL.
We're gonna have to do. Maybe we can do a whole piece on that. We'll do a whole piece because you're totally right. Because so many times they're making people panic and they really don't have issues. They don't have issues, it's that these numbers, they're scaring people.
Really
people
bad.
are really like, and like you said, if it's the ratio, that's more important than looking at this just flat number. And that's where some people are, it all comes back to clean the liver anyway. But I would say definitely still know your ratio so that you can still have the dialogue with the doctor. Like, wait a minute, what are we looking at? Are you saying the ratio's off? Or are you saying the flat line number's off? What's off? So try to, have a better communication, check your ratio. I'm going to have to do a class on that one. How about that? I'll do a class on that.
Because they're saying a ratio below 5.1 to be normal, and a ratio below 3.5 to 1 is very good. So look at the ratio. For the young lady who mentioned that, okay, they're telling her the LDL, HDL, get a copy and say, well, what's my ratio?
There you go. You got to hold the feet to the fire.
I know that's right.
That's right.
Dr. Paul, you always say, know who you're talking to and who's talking to you.
There you go. That's it. That's right.
Because I'm Dr. Paul, I'm recovering from 3 strokes. Okay. And Dr. Paul had been after me about coming in and getting that RM3A, and he went on and did RM3A on me and my wife, and come to find out my cholesterol was high and I had kidney issues. Dr. Paul was the first one to discover it. So my advice is get that assessment.
That's right.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor.
All right, Dr. Paul. One last one just popped up here. I can't let this one go. Yeah, Ron, what's up, buddy?
Oh, is Ron in here?
Yeah, he's
so there he is. There he is.
What's up, Ron?
What's up, Ron?
All right, so I got questions. So I know you've been answering all these questions about certain herbs we need to take all night and stuff, right? But I have a question about an herb you need to take from memory, because it seemed that everybody forgot that it's Father's Day this Sunday, and I just want to celebrate all the fathers in the chat room today. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate all the fathers that's been there for us. You know what I'm saying? Happy early Father's Day,
All right, thank you, Gerard.
Well, I appreciate that, Gerard.
Yes, thank God. Yes, thank you. Yes, and we want to give a shout out to all the fathers out there. Yes, thank you, Gerard.
Is that his new voiceover?
Yeah, of course it is.
That AI is working, isn't it?
AI working overtime.
AI is working overtime. Yeah. And I want to thank all those that really. I appreciate y'all so much on the release of the new single that I did, the Night and Day. and I really appreciate your your comments, suggestions, texts, everything that you've been sending me. We had fun doing it. Shout outs to Yaron, who is the director on that. Let's give him a hand, y'all.
That's right. Yeah, buddy.
Yaron.
Yeah.
Director on that.
Really
He did
nice.
a great
Happy
job.
He's our
Father's Day.
village. He's our village child.
That's right.
The village.
Yes.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like Jaron, boy.
And if you did not see it, you can go right to YouTube. All platforms are playing it right now, so you can purchase it. It's like 99 cents. Purchase it. It's on YouTube. It's also on iTunes, Spotify. Jaron, how many platforms are we on? Like 30 platforms or something like that? It's on all platforms.
Yeah, it should be on all streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everything. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Okay, put the link in the chat for everybody.
Great.
And I appreciate y'all. It's a great project, and I just love it. I just want to get back to real music. How about that?
Yeah, man.
Music,
some good stuff.
Absolutely.
Talking about
good stuff.
You want to talk about love? Talking about tired of the Done Me Wrong songs. What's your windows in your car? I said, let's just get back to real love.
That's genocide. That music is genocide.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
So everybody saw it, right? Everybody saw it.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody saw it. Definitely make sure that you tune
it was
in.
so kind of wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
It was some kind of wonderful.
Wow.
Thank you, Nita. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, there you go. I got you. I got you. Yes, thank you so much. How's your husband doing? How's he doing?
As a matter of fact, he's coming along. He called me. I was so surprised because the facility called me. And they said, well, Miss Armstrong, I have your husband here. He's been asking about you. So he wanted to, well, where you been?
Yes.
He remembered my son was down there. He said, well, he calls my son Duck. That's his nickname. Duck was here. And I don't know, I don't know where you been, so he wants to get home.
Yeah.
And that's always on his mind. And my son, the baby, he's trying to make the ultimate sacrifice. And he said, Mom, I got to figure out a way. I have to get down there where we can bring him home and I can be there to help.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
Wait to see.
We'll be praying, Nita.
Hey, Nisa, you remember I was telling you about there is a, you remember that I told y'all about last week about that global assistance, Assist America?
Oh, yes.
You may, let's talk on the side. I'll give you the information on how you can become a part of that. And he may be able to, that maybe utilize them they will fly you from there all the way up to a hospital here if he has to go to a hospital or home care, wherever he's staying. So that may be something you want to take a look at. It's called
I definitely will do that.
Yeah,
definitely will.
All right. All right, Big B.
Thank you, buddy.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers.
All right, appreciate that,
happy
Nathan.
Father's
Day. Thank you so much.
Treatment.
Mothers.
Happy Father's Day.
That's right. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. So Big B, tie it up, man. Tell everybody.
Yeah, man.
Last time, I guess we had a birthday boy last week, and he didn't turn he's a whole week older now.
Whole week old. 28 years old, yo.
28 and 1
man.
week.
Listen, you know what, Dr. Paul? Never thought I was going to be 82, but guess what? Daddy know what he did. He said, get on it, homie. I said, you got the nerve to wake me up. I got the nerve to do what you want me to do.
There you go.
Man.
There you go.
The sound of that.
So Big B, tie us up, buddy.
All right, man. You got it.
So everybody can support the family tree moving forward and all the great things that you do to help us, man. Tell us how they can support us.
You got it, man. Of course, guys, as always, make sure you get a copy of tonight's chat. Send me an email to mechavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's mechavideo@gmail.com. To continue to support the family tree, you want to do what? Use my Cash App. And that's $BILMORGAN. Again, $BILMORGAN. You use our bank, and that bank, if you use Zelle through your bank, then that ID is mechavideo.com. Comcast.net. Mecca Video, Comcast.net. Or guess what? Use the P.O. Box right here in Mullica Hill, New Jersey. P.O. Box 191, Mullica Hill, New Jersey, 08062. Bring your friends, bring enemies, bring your frenemies, bring everybody right here to the Family Tree every Wednesday night.
All right, Big B.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one more announcement.
Look out.
This week we're going to be at the second annual Loving My Health and Fitness Expo.
All right.
That's going to be right there. Can y'all see that right there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Hey, who's that good-looking dude in the middle, man?
I don't know who that dude is.
Is that your twin? Hallelujah.
Well, we're going to be there, and that's, if you don't know already, Shell Williams. She's a friend of the Family Tree, and she puts an event every year, and she's always been one of the top marketing people in our community.
Right.
She's having this excellent, we're going to be doing a men's health panel. There's going to be Zumba, as you can see, Brothers and Sisters Fitness Challenge, jump rope. Anybody jump rope? Anybody jump rope? And truck for kids. Bring the whole family. They have everything out. It's going to be karaoke. Uptown Standard newspaper will be there. Urban Expressions, Supreme Gospel Entertainment. It's going to be a great event. And these are the sponsors here. So if you can come on out, it's going to be June 15th at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's going to be at GCOB Hall, 6611
and Germantown
Avenue. Yep. So if you can come on out, yep. And I guess before we see you again, it will be Juneteenth.
That's right, buddy.
Yep, Juneteenth coming soon. So these are all the events. Be a part of some festival that's going on for Juneteenth and support.
Yes.
How about that, y'all? All right, I want to say thank you all for chiming in. We're going to shout out for Prophetess over there.
Fingers is in the house.
Thank you,
Prophetess.
Prophetess, that's what's up.
Keeping us on point.
Thank you so much.
Clearing out the smoke.
Welcome back.
Big B. That's how fast she's moving.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I got to jump on another move.
And of course, we want to give our shout out to our host with the most. That's Big B.
Everybody, yeah. What up?
All right, Big B. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, man, always.
Let's do this thing right, man. And I want to give our shout out to my son over there, Yaron.
Yeah. Those are the hour.
And everybody that's here. We got my cousin Claudia's in here. We got everybody in here.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man.
And we say, be encouraged. Remember, if you're breathing,
you
got Hey.
Amen. All right, y'all.
All right, Marcy. What's up, Marcy? I see you back there.
That's
Marcy.
right, man. Yeah.
I see you, Marcy. All right, step it up. Come on.
Yeah.
Every in and out. In and out. She sounds like that, right? Hey, come on. Hey, you look a little different.
Yeah.
This is the best I can do.
All right.
Come on the other side. Good. All right, I see you, Carol G. What's up, Carol G? All right. Tap. All right. I got the perfect song. Perfect song on the other side. Hey, Sheila, I see you, Sheila. That is. All right, Big B. Yeah, there you go. Clap it up. Put them in lockers like that. Lock them. Got it? Reverse them like this. Y'all right.
Y'all all right, girl. Y'all all right, girl.
And then your left, over to the other left, and home. Stretch, and stretch. All right. And move back, just step back a little bit. Good. Then bring it on down. I want you to drop the head straight down. Rotate the hand around, just like a big circle. Rotate it around. And
regular pop time.
And breathe. Try not to slow. Don't shake nothing off now. Move it around slow. Don't move the shoulders.
Yeah.
Move it around, rotate, and breathe. And breathe. And we done enough one way, stop. Back it up. Come on around. Good. Y'all got it. You got it.
That's regular pop time, yo.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. That's one clap now. Clap it up. For energy. This is a little qigong we're going with today. All right, have good intentions, right? Or that shoulder that's hurting, or that knee that's hurting. You can move it on out. All right, clap. One more, clap. And clap. And stop. Move that top one, big. Keep that bottom one still. You feel that big ball of energy in there.
Yeah, buddy.
Think about it, man. Bless yourself with good intentions. God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. And thanks for tuning in to the band. We'll see y'all later. Next.
Yo, got it, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, man. Have a great one.
All right. Who can dance up there? Y'all can dance.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Who can dance up there? I see you, Marcy. Go ahead, Marcy. Go, Marcy. Do the Marcy.
I heard that. Yeah,
Go, Calvin. Go, Calvin.
Get it, CG.
She's got the head. Go, Calvin. Go, Yara.
Hey.
Go, Yara.
Get it, Marcy.
Rest of your body.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Go, Carol. He riding the horse right there, Big B. That's the horse.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Can you dance with that silhouette?
Yeah. No, I haven't got that good.
Yeah. Hey, come on. That's a nice look you got there, girl. What can I tell you? Yeah.
There you go. All right. There you go. All right, y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all.
All right, man.
Over the weekend.
See you on the weekend, buddy.
We also stay cool, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. We'll see you on the weekend, Big B.
You got it, buddy. Blessings.
All right, y'all.
Have a great Father's Day. I'll be there right there with you, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.